Good evening, I'm Kevin Duska from Prime Rogue Inc., and I want to talk to you guys tonight about the next Battlespace that we're going to face, and which is going to be relevant in the next generation of warfare. And what's important to note is that it's not kinetic, it's not coming from the outside, and it's not going to wait for you to be ready. It's already here, and most people don't know what to call it yet. Right now in Canada, we're facing threats of annexation from the US, from Donald Trump, but the greatest thing we're facing is not a war in the traditional sense. It's something that's much harder to name. It's a quiet, slow collapse of institutional coherence. And mind you, this is not about partisanship. It's not about left versus right or public versus private. This is about legitimacy. Who has it, who's losing it, and what happens when the public can no longer recognize the systems that claim authority. In strategic terms, we're talking about sixth-generation warfare, which is narrative first. It doesn't need bombers, cyber attacks, or soldiers. It just needs the public to stop believing that their institutions can speak clearly, act decisively, or explain what's going on without retreating behind process and euphemisms. And let's be honest, this is happening in real time. Canadians are seeing policy change without explanations, contradictions are piling up without acknowledgement, major breaches in ethics, public safety, and governance are being processed instead of resolved, handled through comm strategies, not accountability. And what that creates is informational fatigue. People will stop trusting, not because they're angry, although sometimes they are, but because they're tired. Because they've been handed too many signals that don't align with what they're seeing or with what they're living through. And that's not bad governance. That's a national security vulnerability in a sixth-generation environment. Because once coherence, the coherence of a narrative breaks down, it opens the door for exploitations by foreign actors, of course, but more often by the system itself trying to suppress its own contradictions to protect its reputation instead of working to restore trust. And what we're watching right now is the emergence of a post-sovereign procedural state, a system that can still function on paper but can't generate belief, only compliance, and that will not hold over the long term. If Canada wants to survive this phase of informational turbulence, which is in part being propped up from abroad by the United States and others, and from within by the Maple MAGA traders, it's not going to be done through better marketing or cleaner PDF brochures. It's going to take a full doctrinal shift. This means narrative coherence at the core of every federal agency, linguistic clarity rather than soft PR dialects, breach acknowledgement rather than procedural containment, and a total rebuild of the public's ability to orient themselves in a system that no longer offers a stable signal. Because right now, Canadians are not looking for better spin. They're looking for someone to say the truth out loud, calmly, without flinching. They're looking for institutions that can explain themselves. And when they don't get that, they will either disengage or start listening to anyone who will offer a clear frame. Even if that is the Maple MAGA movement, even if it's wrong, even if it's dangerous, and even, like the Maple MAGA movement, if it's unmoored from reality. That is the vacuum, that is the risk, and that is the moment we are in right now. And at Prime Rogue Inc., we track these shifts in informational terrain, not because we want to make headlines, but to help serious actors understand the depth of the rupture before containment breaks. This is no longer about crisis communication, this is about pre-collapse navigation. So there's a simple call to make. Either speak clearly, stop hiding failure behind process, and build the doctrine that explains what this moment actually is before someone else is going to write the story for you. Because if you can't do that, you're not going to lead. You'll just be reacting. And in the battle space that's coming, that's already here, reaction is death. The battle space is here. It's informational, and it's already shaping the future and the present of Canadian sovereignty. So stay coherent, Canada.